Yo, Dom here, most metal cripple on YouTube. So apparently, the Grammys were last night, and apparently, Spirit Box performed at the Grammys. This would be the first time in, 40 ish years that there was a heavy, quote unquote, heavier band playing at the Grammys. So does this mean metal is starting to become accepted in the mainstream? Is this a positive? Is this a negative to the underground? How does this affect the underground, if at all? There's a lot to unpack here. First of all, though, let's watch just a few seconds of the performance, just so we know what we're dealing with here. Trying to avoid a copyright strike here. Okay, so am I a Spirit Box fan? No. Did I think it was an awesome performance? No. But that's beside the point. I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, if people watch this, the people who watched the Grammys, most of them are not true metalheads. I think that's safe to say. And to the people who watch the Grammys, to these people, this is metal. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. This has now become what metal is identified as in 2026. To the mainstream, this is metal, regardless of the fact that it's really not metal. But they don't know that. So, to the people watching Spirit Box on the Grammys, are they then going to become true metalheads? If that were the case, then you could say, okay, it's got a positive effect on the metal genre as a whole. But you could just have people who watch it and say, oh, wow, I like Spirit Box, and they become Spirit Box fans. And that's where it ends. They don't look any further into the underground, they just become Spirit Box fans. I don't think it's going to hurt metal for this kind of to get this kind of exposure. I don't think it's going to have a negative impact on the underground, for instance. We're never going to see a real metal band playing at the Grammys, though. They're never going to ask a band like Cannibal Corpse to play at the Grammys. Can you imagine? I mean, if they did, I think Cannibal Corpse would be crazy to turn it down. I don't think they would turn it down. I mean, that's why they said yes to being an Ace Ventura pet detective. I mean, what band wouldn't kill to have that kind of exposure? But I don't think that's ever going to happen, though. I mean, Spirit Box is just safe enough to where, okay, it makes sense for them to be on the Grammys. And I think it's okay. I think it's okay to let some of these people in, under the assumption that, okay, they're going to find out about other bands through Spirit Box. Maybe they'll use it as a gateway band. I could see that happening. But, I don't know. I'm trying not to be too negative. Can you tell that I'm trying to meet Spirit Box halfway here. Again, I'm not a fan, but lots of people are. It's a little sad that this is what passes for metal to the mainstream. But, you know, maybe this is just step one. Maybe this is how metal gets its foot in the door. Although, to be honest, true metal does not need to be accepted in the mainstream I almost want to say that it shouldn't be accepted by the mainstream. It doesn't need the acceptance. It does deserve respect, and maybe this is a step towards metal receiving some of the respect that it deserves. Years ago, I remember seeing a rapper being interviewed on TV. I don't remember which rapper it was, but he intimated that hip hop was the redheaded stepchild of music genres, that rap and hip hop didn't get any respect at the Grammys, which is laughable. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I mean, if any type of music is the redheaded stepchild of musical genres at the Grammys, it's metal. I mean, even hard rock music doesn't get any respect at the Grammys. Metal, I mean, some of the most talented musicians on the planet play heavy metal music, and we're just now seeing a quote unquote metal band perform at the Grammys. Uh, there's, there's a lot to unpack here. I do think that overall this is probably a positive for the metal scene, the community. What else can I call it? The metal community, the metal, well, the underground. I don't think this is going to affect the underground one way or the other. But hopefully, the idea is that some people will become Spirit Box fans from watching this, and then they will discover other bands. They will be curious enough to venture further into the metal waters and find other bands that they like. Maybe some real metal bands. Um, but what do you people think? I want to know what other people think. Does A, is Spirit Box metal? B, is Spirit Box metal adjacent? Are they even close to being metal? I want to know what other people have to say about this. Do you think that other metal bands will be asked to perform at the Grammys? And if so, how metal will those bands be? You know, I, Spirit Box is, from what I understand, they have a lot of pop influence, and the song that they performed, this particular song, "Soft Spine," it was all I've watched the whole performance, and it's all screaming. They could have gone with a more commercially viable song, so there is that at the very least. I don't think she has a very impressive scream personally. I think as a metal vocalist, she's not very good. But again, to the people watching the Grammys, she's an awesome screamer. To to the mainstream, she is, as extreme as it gets. So I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. But yeah, there you go. Listen, don't like or subscribe. Um, don't watch the Grammys, and but no, seriously, don't like or subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.